In today's class, we want to learn how to open up brackets. As a rule, each time you see a number right before a bracket, that is, if there is no mathematical operation between a number and a bracket, what it simply means is that the number is multiplying everything inside that bracket. The same thing happens when you have a variable that is right just before a bracket. There is no plus, minus, times, or divide between that which is outside and the bracket itself. What it simply means is that that which is outside the bracket multiplies everything inside the bracket, obeying the rules of the signs inside the bracket. Let's use this example to demonstrate exactly how you do it. First question on the board is 2 outside the bracket, open a bracket, x plus y. This simply means 2 outside the bracket multiplies x and multiplies y at the same time. Let me show you. First, I'll go like this. The 2 outside the bracket multiplies the x inside the bracket plus the plus inside connecting x and y. 2 outside the bracket again multiplies the y outside the bracket. That's how it is done. Therefore, 2 multiply x gives us 2x plus comes down. 2 multiply y gives us 2y. We are done. Nothing more than that. It's as easy as you can see it on this board. Next example. This is a case of minus. A outside the bracket. We begin with it. A is outside the bracket. It multiplies B inside the bracket. Now there is a minus sign connecting B and 2. Put it down here. Now A outside the bracket again multiplies the 2. Did you see how the variable outside keeps going to multiply, only obeying the operation inside the bracket? That's what you should take note of. It's very important. Alright, so A multiply B gives us AB minus A multiply 2 gives us 2A. This is our final answer for question 2. Come to question 3. The same thing works. In question 3, you have to be careful. See, this is a division sign. To help you get this answer correctly, it's better to express what you see in the bracket as a fraction. Change this division sign to a slash, just like we write numerator and denominator. Remember that? That will help you. Watch and see. So in that case, the x outside the bracket remains x outside the bracket, but inside the bracket, 2yz becomes a numerator. 2yz becomes our numerator, y3x is our denominator. This makes it easy. We haven't changed anything, but the reason for this is so that we don't mistakenly multiply both of them because of the division sign. This rule only applies to division and multiplication sign, okay? So be careful when you are dealing with that. Alright, having said that, let's proceed. Now, for us to open up this bracket, I always encourage my students to express the number multiplying as a fraction by writing a 1 underneath, so that the numerator can easily multiply numerator, while denominator easily multiplies denominator. Did you get that? Alright, so x multiplies 2yz. When x multiplies 2yz, you end up with 2xyz slash. Now x is not multiplying anymore because x is just a numerator. It has already multiplied its corresponding numerator. So 1 multiplies 3x, and that leaves us with 3x. We would have ended this answer here, but I can see that there's an x up and there's also an x down. We can cancel them out as common factors. Therefore, when we cancel it out, we end up with this answer. X cancels out x. So, on the numerator, we are left with 2yz. 2yz remains on the numerator. Y on the denominator, we are left with just 3, the constant 3. This becomes our answer. I will give you some time to try questions 4, 5, and 6. Pause the video and have a go. Did you get the answers right? I am back. Alright, let's see how to do this one. For this case, we are multiplying everything inside this bracket with -3. So it goes like this. -3 is going to be multiplying x first. I'll keep it there. After that, the same negative 3 will go to multiply y. But see, there's a negative sign here. Just write it minus. I will just put them in brackets so that the signs don't collide. So this minus is what you have down here. Now negative 3 has to multiply y, and then close in the bracket. There's another minus negative 3 again has to multiply half z. Half z, you can write it as half z or just z upon 2. It's the same thing, half z, like this. All right, this makes it easier for us to work out. Hence, let's do it. Negative 3 times x means negative 3x. Negative 3x. Minus is here, write it down. Negative 3 times y means negative 3y. I am still using a bracket because I don't want negative and negative to collide. We will come to that later. Next, minus. Negative 3 times z. This is a fraction, so you can just express this negative 3 as a fraction by writing a 1 underneath. So, numerator times numerator gives us negative 3z. I'll open a bracket also because I don't want the negative signs to collide immediately. Negative 3z upon 1 times 2 is 2. Write it down. We are here now. Now let's simplify. To simplify, negative 3 comes down. This is negative 3x. It comes down first. Negative 3x comes down first. Now watch here. I told you whenever anything comes immediately before the bracket, it means you're multiplying something inside the bracket. So I want you to see this negative sign as negative 1. An invisible 1 stands right there. So it means negative 1 times a negative 3. Negative times negative gives you positive. Take note of that, okay? So we're left with positive 3y here. Negative also times negative. That gives you positive. So on this side, you are left with a positive 3z upon 2. You can leave your final answer as this, which is correct, or you can choose to rearrange them, beginning with the positive ones, the positive term in this expression, instead of just the negative one coming first. Whichever way is correct. So let's just rearrange. So I can choose to rearrange it this way, bringing in 3y first. 3y comes in first, plus the next one, 3z upon 2, and finally minus 3x. Minus 3x. Whichever way you write it, this way or this way, whichever way is right. I hope this is clear also. Now let's solve questions 5 and 6. For question 5, negative 2 is already outside. I'll keep it outside, negative 2. Multiplying negative a. Multiplying negative a. Keep it there. Plus. Negative 2 again, negative 2 again. Multiplying 6. I'll just keep this in a bracket and that in a bracket. So plus is the sign outside. Alright. Now, negative times negative gives us positive. Remember, when a number that comes first is positive, we don't need to write a positive sign in front. So we don't need to write plus 2a. I will just write 2a. Alright. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. But remember your plus. Bring it down first. Plus negative 12. Now I have to interact plus and minus together. Plus times minus is minus. Therefore, our final answer is 2a minus 12. This is your final answer for this question 5. The last question we are solving for today is question 6. And question 6 has it almost all fractions. The fraction is multiplying, so we express this as a fraction and negative 1 as a fraction by just writing 1 as their denominators. So, to proceed with the calculation, let's go. First and first, 2/3 of x, 2/3 of x multiplies x first. Multiplies x first. Now see, let's do it easily. 2/3 of x, 2/3 of x, multiply x. X times x means x squared. Done. Next, this is already positive and this is positive. We'll go straight to add. This is an addition. I hope I'm not covering you. Okay, this is an addition. Therefore, in this case, all we need to do is 2 times 3y will give us 6y. 2x times 3y will give us 6xy. The denominator will be 3 times 4, 12. Next one is a negative, minus. Yeah? So this is going to be minus, let's write it here, minus 2 times 1 is 2. Remember it's 2x, so 2x here, 3 times 1, 3. So looking at this place, there is 6xy upon 12. 6 is a common factor which you can actually cancel out. To cancel it out, we divide both the numerator and the denominator of this term by 6. So to do that, I will just rewrite my final answer this way. 2/3 of x squared, 2/3 of x squared plus 6 divides 6 leaves you 1. So we have just xy remaining for the numerator upon 6 divided 12 gives you 2. That is half of xy. That's what it is. The y looks like a 4. xy. Okay. Now minus 2x upon 3. This becomes our final answer for question 6. Try pausing the video from stage to stage and try solving it out to see how well you have understood this lesson. As always, thank you for watching.